lots of fun over here at Nitro Cross. Friday, November 10th, tomorrow. I'm getting up early and we're heading down to Florence. Hopefully, the 1967 makes it all right. This car looks familiar. Hey, this canopy looks familiar. Woohoo! Let's do a walk around this guy. Heck yeah! Come on, Kyle!
Alright, so we got Ryan Rodriguez, Kyle Zirkus, Blake Wilkie. It's eating up the 2 to 4 hours of a bonus later, and there is a lot of either one of those guys, they are pretty aggressive, and I can't talk to their heart. I was down there doing the Scott Yancey yesterday.
Get it, Kyle!
How many pounds he managed to lose.
Get the speed, come on!
Side by side, Rodriguez going to go for a late one on the brakes up into the hairpin. Wilkie going to go for the cars. Launching down the hill after getting the flat tire.
Take him on the inside, come on! Yeah, come on, Kyle, get him!
That last year, unfortunately, out, but Scotty is just fantastic. People, we got Cerrone there in fifth. He's ahead of
come on!
Good for him to drive first, I think.
Well, they're pretty fast. But as you said, Rodriguez is this guy.
Come on, Kyle, come on! Nice!
He's old.
Come on, Kyle! Set him up, get him! Yeah!
They'll hurt their cars. I like it. They're racing clean. But these things do not handle at all.
Get him, Kyle! Go! Come on, Kyle, come on! Stick him! Yes! Podium there! Woo! Yes! Yes!
Zirkus gets the jump. Wilkie gets second. So getting
Well, it's 6:22, morning of. I've got my oldest 2 kids, my daughter and then my son, are supposed to be going with me. I've got snacks and drinks and chairs for 3 people stuffed in this little car. Anyway, they're not yet to be seen. However, we didn't get back from Nitrocross till about 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. But I'm tired. Praying to the Lord that this car makes it there and back. We'll see how it goes, guys. I got the GoPro on the car. Figure I'll just do like a time warp the entire way down, see how it goes. And it's gonna be interesting one way or the other. See you guys on the road.
little over 2 hours later, and we made it. It's a beautiful, breezy morning. 94 miles, I think, was the total from my house to here. And she made it without skipping a beat. I mean, she just ran perfectly, cruising along at about 60 on the freeway. Not an issue, not an error, not a falter. I can't tell you how elated that I am that we got here. So we're gonna sit back and enjoy the show now, guys. Didn't skip a beat on the way down here this morning, and it couldn't have gone as far as any better the drive down. Honestly, I am just completely aghast at how well this car drove this morning. So quite a few Volkswagens out here, from absolutely stunning right-hand drive, 53 thereabouts. I didn't look at it too long, but a beautiful, beautiful right-hand drive early car, to just make it to the show, have some fun, camp and hang out. Lots of cool Volkswagens down here at the VW Roundup.
And that brings us back home. She made it.
There and back again, a Volkswagen's journey.
You gotta love old Volkswagens. That's why we do this. It's just amazing that you can take something that was neglected sitting in a guy's backyard. Thanks, Kyle. When I got it, the engine was locked up, wouldn't turn over. I haven't changed the transmission fluid in this thing. Either way, with 3 months of work, and that wasn't 3 solid months. I mean, at the end, it got pretty solid, but early on, we started off kind of slow. There was probably a good 2 to 3 weeks where I almost did nothing on the car. New wiring, new brakes, some new suspension bits, new wheels and tires, obviously, so we could roll it easily. There were some niceties that we did along the way. We didn't have to have these new wheels and hubcaps. We could have used the old wheels and just put new tires on. We didn't have to have, a brand new TMI interior. We didn't have to have floor mats and tar boards. We didn't have to have a new steering wheel. There's a lot of things that we didn't have to do, but honestly, that just made that, hour and a half, 2 hour drive pleasant as opposed to completely uncomfortable. All the new window seals and hood seals and fender beating, stuff of that nature. Those weren't necessities, those were niceties, which you guys asked for and I was happy to deliver. But either way, at this point, this is a running, driving, functioning car. I mean, I drove this car maybe 250, 300 miles over the course of 3 days. And other than those couple issues at the beginning with the fuel pump and the electronic ignition, there's been no issues since. This thing has been flawless.
I want to give big thanks to the guys from VW Airhead Campers and from Desert Dubs for putting on and hosting the VW Roundup. Awesome people supporting our hobby with events for Volkswagen owners to go out to and enjoy, and just genuine, all-around great people. It was nice talking to all those guys out there at the show.
So where do we go from here? I want to say those pieces for the sunroof came in, so I'm definitely going to go through, pull that whole sunroof assembly out, cover all the pieces, how they're installed. But other than the sunroof, it's really not up to me what I'm going to do with this car. And I'm sorry, it's
not up to you guys either. It's up to the owners and where they want to go forward with this car. Personally, I'd like to just paint it back to the original 1967 VW blue. That's the original color of the car. And I'd like to go basically back to stock on this car as far as interior, color combinations. I mean, I already did so with a lot of the trim and everything else. It's all back to stock. Sure, we did lower it and put disc brakes on it, but along those lines, lowering it and then driving it around with a full load, I've noticed that our tires do rub, believe it or not, with that much gap. When I'm sitting in the car, me and my kids and everything else, as I'm turning, my tires do rub the fenders just a little bit. And switching to a 135, it might take care of that problem, but I know what would definitely fix the problem: a 4-inch narrowed beam from Air Cooled, which we do offer, and that's going to be something that I'm going to pass to the higher ups and see if maybe that's something we can't throw on this car, show you guys that whole process on a ball joint car, and show you just how high quality those air cooled beams are. Other than that, if we don't decide to paint it, I don't know. It's not up to me, it's not my car. I want to fix that hole in the dash, and then from there, this car is either A, ready for disassembly and paint, or B, ready for a headliner and carpeting to finish off the interior. With the dash fixed, we could put a regular radio in there, maybe just put a simple stereo system in the car, and then it's done. Engine-wise, it does have some leaks. It's a Volkswagen, they leak, so let's take a look at the cardboard here. After sitting for 24 hours, that's how much oil she's dripped. And let's take a look at the dipstick. We've got oil dripping on our apron now, but maybe a pint low. Everything is as it should be. The car ran well, even after driving on the freeway, pulling off the freeway, never mind the little bit of oil on my fingers. Those of you familiar with Volkswagens, you're getting off the freeway and putting the car in neutral and letting it coast up to a stoplight at the off-ramp. The oil light would flicker just a little bit, nothing major, which tells you that your oil pressure is low or that your engine's running a little hot. After I switched out to that fatter idle jet, no issues. Driving all the way down to Florence, pulled into the lot, or just, pulling off of the highway. Put it in neutral, wait for instructions on where to go into the show. Oil light didn't come on one time. Driving all the way back home, and at certain times on the way back home, since I was a little bit more confident in the car, I had it up to 75 miles an hour at certain points. Pulled off the freeway, put it in neutral, let the engine idle, oil light still was not coming on. At that point, I was questioning whether or not the oil pressure switch was working. When I got home, stopped the car, let it sit for about 10, 15 seconds, turned the key back on, both the oil light and the generator light came on. So the switch is working. This car just was running perfectly. 1500, single port, good power, and obviously still reliable. So other than, going through and, doing maybe a little bit of resealing on there, it doesn't need anything. Actually, I don't say it doesn't need anything. I would like to try and find some thermostat vanes and flaps and all that system to put back in the fan shroud just to make certain the cooling system is back to original. But these aren't for certain going to happen. It's not up to me. These are just things or ideas that I'm considering. I don't know if this is running too long or not, but we'll see how it goes. I can't say this project's done because there's still work to do, but I just don't know what else we're gonna do. So we'll get back to you on that. This isn't gonna be part of our vlog series. This will just be part of our regular series. The engine, 1600cc, empty unassembled long block that's now a assembled long block with a couple bits and pieces on there that we've been test fitting and in our regular video, not as part of the vlog series. And by our regular videos, that's usually where I'm in front of the camera, cameraman behind the camera, and I'm not shooting it all by myself. But that'll be going on. Jamie, if you remember Jamie from, if any of you have watched any of our other videos, Jamie came along and did some of the disassembly on the Carmen Ghia we did a couple months back. He's interested in doing a German look build similar to my blue Super Beetle that I did. with the 73 Super Beetle that we picked up from Kyle. And I'm in the talks of getting, or I should say, my son, Nathan, who helped me load up all these cars and helped me get this engine running. He's in talks with the owner about picking up a bug for his first car. I think I've narrowed it down to the 74 with the fully rusted hood and a crushed front quarter panel, or a crinkled front quarter panel. I think that's a prime candidate for, forgive me, a Baja bug. It's a 74, typically a less than desirable car. With the damage on the quarter panel this far back on the car, this is where the damage is, just in front of the fuel door on that car. The damage to that body is not in a place that's easy to get out, whereas the 68, yeah, the 68 does have a crushed front end, but that can be repaired with a front clip. So that's also another video that's rolling through my head as far as part of a vlog series, is maybe getting that front clip on that 68, getting a new front clip installed, showing you guys that process. These are just ideas rolling in my head. Nothing's set in stone, nothing's for certain. So as we're coming to the end of this project, well, it's not the end. As we're kind of wrapping up this portion of this project, this series, I don't know what the future is going to hold other than a sunroof video. But in the meantime, the world's full of good people. If you can't find one, be one. Later, guys.